Okay, so welcome to the CCI quote generator orientation. I know this was short notice. We are having another orientation this upcoming Wednesday at 6 o'clock Pacific time. So if you know anyone else looking for an at-home position, spread the word, and we'll be sending out an email with that webinar link. And it will just be one email this time, not not multiple. So my name's Keith Carpenter. I'm the telemarketing manager. I'm also an agent here at Custom Contractors Insurance, and basically we have teams. Our agents have teams of people who work the phones, and those teams generate quotes. We close the deals, and everybody makes money. Okay, so in this webinar, you're going to discover a new vehicle. A vehicle that's going to allow you to really work from anywhere you choose, okay? And a vehicle that allows you to make really as much money as you want to within the time schedule that we have laid out. You're also going to get a vehicle that gives you the room to grow and advance, because we have opportunities here to move up at some point if that's what you're looking for. And you're also going to discover who we are, who CCI is, and what we do. You're going to discover your three main responsibilities that you have with us. That's actually more than that, but you're going to discover the hours that you have to work, the shifts that are available for you to be able to get on the phone and make some money. We're going to talk about the three things that you need to do the job effectively. There's not much, just three things. Maybe a fourth thing, we'll talk about that. And how you get paid. And the pay is residual as well, so that's a good thing. Okay, and we'll talk about the residual as we go. You're also going to discover why your team is relying on you. So when you say you're going to work, it's important that you're there on the phone and working. We're going to show you how you can apply for this position at the end of this orientation. So we're going to give you a link where you can go and actually enter your information and apply for the position. You can attach your resume if you need to as well. We don't require it, but if you have one, you can send it to us. And we're going to talk about the training that you're going to get when you start, and a lot more than that. So let's get into it. Who is Custom Contractors Insurance? We are a nationwide insurance broker. We deal with, we cover all 50 states in the union, and we deal with over 30 carriers when it comes to contractors insurance. It's saying I may be experiencing degraded audio quality. As long as everybody can hear me, I think we're good. Okay. So we have over 30 carriers to choose from, and we're on page 1 of Google for over 100 keywords relating to our industry. So we have a good presence online, and this telephone work is another source of business for us that we are passionate about and committed to making it work for you and for everyone involved in the company. And we specialize in contractor insurance, so roofers, any kind of contractor, home contractor, plumbers, electricians, all of those type of people. That's who we work with. We specialize in that type of insurance. Okay, and here's the best part. You really have two specific things that are going to make you money. Okay, so there's two things you're going to do while you're working that make you money. When you plug into our system, you get two very specific job responsibilities, and those two responsibilities are generate quotes and submit renewal dates. Okay, and that's going to make more sense to you in just a minute. So generating quotes, contractors who are looking to save money on their insurance. Okay, insurance is a need. It's not a want. It doesn't have any emotion tied to it. Really, it's a commodity. Okay, and people don't get excited about paying a lot of money for insurance. So in this type of business, the people that you're going to be speaking with are very open to hearing what you have to say and getting a quote live right on the phone right then and there. Okay, and then renewal dates. You may speak to somebody who their insurance policy, as it goes yearly, doesn't renew for months out. You can track that information and then call those people back in the future to get the quote. Okay. Now, our three-step process, basically the quote taker, which is you, takes and submits the quote information. I'm going to show you how you do that on our system. You transfer the call to an agent that's on duty, and that agent will then go ahead and give a quote and wrap the deal up if it's ready to go. If it's not, we'll go ahead and set follow-ups based on the information that we got from that particular person. Okay, so that's the three-step process. Now, the only three things that you need to be able to do this job. Number one, you need a computer or a laptop. Okay, you have to be able to log into a computer. to be able to get onto the system that I'm going to show you in just a second that you use to get your quotes. Okay. Second thing you need is a headset with a microphone, or in this case, my laptop has a microphone built into it. So I'm talking to you right now through my microphone. That's built into my computer, so I don't have a headset on. And I can actually use Five9 without that, as long as your laptop has a headset, or a microphone rather. And the third is an internet connection. Obviously, you need to be able to connect to the internet with a decent connection speed. Doesn't have to be super fast, but you are going to be making telephone calls through the internet. So you want to have at least a decent speed. Not, dial-up may pose an issue, but we have had people using it with not too many problems. So it just depends on your connection. Now, where can you do this? Anywhere with internet, okay? Anywhere where you can set up your internet in your laptop or your computer and you can do this job, okay? Now, the available shifts that we have to work are Monday through Saturday. So you have 9 to 1, you have a 1 to 5, we've got a 5 to 9, and we have a 9 to 12. Now, you may be thinking, wow, 9 to 12, that should be AM, by the way. But 9 to 12, that's basically 6 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, okay? So you can call businesses up until 9 o'clock. So if you are someone who likes to work late, you can work the 6 to 9 shift, which is really your 9 to 12 in your area, and you'll be calling people on the East Coast that have gotten out of work. A lot of the people that we call have cell phones, not company phones, and so they're already done, they're off the roof, and they have time to talk where you can get a quote from them, okay? So there's literally 15 hours a day available to you to work, okay? So if you decide what your schedule, what works best, that you can commit to and be there on the phone, and you go from there, okay? So that's the schedule. So how do you do your job? Well, there's 2 tools that you're going to use. I'm going to show you right now to do this job every single day. Number 1 is a predictive dialer, okay? So the predictive dialer is called Five9. If any of you have done phone work in the past, you probably have come in contact with Five9. It's a very popular predictive dialer, and it basically makes telephone calls for you. And the second thing you need is what we call our quote generator or app taker headquarters, which I'm going to show you in just a second, that you actually will enter your information in so that it counts and gets passed on internally to us. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a peek. We're going to look at the Five9 system. Okay, first step is to log on. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm actually logged in, but this is the Five9 system that we use. Okay, this is inside of the system, and then this right here is inside the dialer. Okay, so just logged into one of our guys' accounts, and you'll see that there's some functionality here. There's functionality over here to keep track of everything. We're not going to get into this right now. I just want to show you what we're using, where you would go ahead and take your phone calls, and then assuming that you come on board and then it's a right fit, we'll spend some time training you before you get on the phone so that you can learn the ins and outs of the system. It's very easy to use. We use very little of the functionality that you see here. There's not a ton to know, but just get a general look at it right now. And then when you're ready to take a phone call, you literally just put yourself in a ready status. So if I was to put myself in a ready status right now, a phone call is going to pop to me within about 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, and then it would come to me. It would be a contractor, or it would give me the information, and then I'd go ahead and I would get them to do a quote with us. Okay, so that's that system, and you'll be more familiar with that as we go. So you basically log in, you take calls like we showed you, and get in a ready status. You get quote information, you transfer the call out to an agent, and then you're also going to be getting renewal dates that we're going to show you where you log those into the system. But those are valuable because that's future business for you to be able to follow up with and say, hey, I talked to you a few months ago. You told me you renew in December. I just wanted to give you a call and get you a quote before you guys renew. Simple as that. Okay, app taker headquarters or quote taker headquarters. Basically, this is where you enter your quotes. We're going to show you that right now. So let's go over to this web page right here. Okay, this is the online quote generator page. The first step is enter and submit the form below right here. The second step is to place your caller on a brief hold using this system right here. When you're on a call, you have the option to put the caller on hold. And then the third step is to transfer the call out to an agent. Okay, so it's that simple. Now this is the form that you fill out. It's very straightforward. Your name, are they insured? If they're insured right now, when does their policy expire? When would they like to activate the new insurance? the owner's name, the company name, the phone number, which all should be on the screen, so you don't even have to ask them those questions. Their email address, their zip code. We don't even need their entire address, just their zip code at this point. How long they've been in business, a quick description of what they do, roofing, siding, windows, and then this information right here, okay? What were the total gross sales over 12 months? How much do they pay out to subcontractors? And again, this stuff will be explained to you. It's very simple and straightforward. Total material costs, if they're separate from the sub costs, which most of the time they are, and then total payroll if they have employees that are on the books. So we'll explain all this to you. And then obviously the number of employees that make up this amount of payroll would go right here, and then a quick message from you to the agent letting them know, any particulars, okay? So that's literally a quote, okay? It takes 2 minutes to fill this out. It's a quick bing, bang, boom, and that's it. And once you're done, you click submit. Now when you click submit, it sends it directly over to the agent. At the same time, after you click submit, you're going to place them on hold and transfer the call. They're going to get the call. Their email is going to be open already, and they're going to see the submitted form that you sent to them, and they're going to be able to go and get them a quote within 2 to 3 minutes by just popping that information into our other system that generates the quotes, okay? So you're generating the initial information for the quote, and then the agent will put the quote together. Once the agent puts the quote together, they send an email out to the customer with the quote information, and they CC you so that you know what happened with that quote, and that's it, okay? So you're not really following up with any of these people. Once you've generated the quote, that's it, okay? You're done, and then you allow us to move forward and close the deal and get it done for you so you can make a commission. Now over here on the right, it's record a renewal date. So if somebody says to you, hey Joe, I don't renew until January of next year, okay? You can either take a quote now if they want to, which I recommend, because then we can build that into our calendar moving forward. Or you can go over here and just put your name, their first name, their phone number, their renewal date, and then their email, and just submit this right to us, okay? And then your information obviously is tagged to this, and when that renewal date comes around, you'll be given that back to call and basically get a quote from them at that time, okay? So this is where you spend all your time, right here, okay? Getting quote information, submitting them to agents, and then getting renewal dates so that you can follow up with those down the road, okay? And if you have questions, obviously type them in on the right-hand side, and we'll get to them right at the very end of this presentation. So you enter your quotes in, you enter your renewal dates, okay? Everything is tracked in the system so we know exactly what you did, how many quotes, and all that. So everything's kept track of, okay? Now here's the ways that you get paid. Everybody gets $10 per hour, okay? So for every hour that you work on the dialer, you get $10, okay? And then everyone gets $25 per bound policy, okay? So if you get a quote, it turns into a policy, you make an extra $25 for getting that policy, okay? And then you make $25 every year when that policy renews. So for those people who have been with us for over a year, they're getting renewal checks for the deals they did last year as they start to come and renew this year. So it pays to stick around and work hard because you're going to be making even more money down the road. Now, getting quote information. All the calls are monitored, mostly because we want to help kill the learning curve immediately for you, lower it down, get you started, get you going correctly, help, see what you're doing correctly, see what you could be doing better, and give you that advice right away. And that's one thing we focus on. The quote has to be complete, so all that information is required, but it's not a lot of information. So get it, pass it on, and move on to the next quote. And it must be genuine interest. We don't want you trying to talk somebody into getting a quote. If they love their agent, it's their brother-in-law or their sister-in-law or their father or whatever, that's just a waste of time for everyone. Okay, so we rely on you to make sure that there's a genuine interest there. Okay, renewal dates we just showed you. You must fill those in completely. Get their email address. That's important, and then you get those leads back to call in the future, and usually a few an hour is pretty normal. I mean, you're going to bump into people, I renew this date, I renew that date. Okay, so you'll track those during the day when you're working. $25 for every closed policy. Policy closes, you get paid $25. Some close sooner, others close later. You may get one that doesn't renew until January or November, or it's all going to come together. It's all about building a pipeline, and then stuff starts closing, and you start getting bigger checks the longer you're with the company. Okay, and then all deals are linked to you as the producer, so everything's kept track of. Now, there's $25 for every annual renewal I explained to you. When the client renews, you get paid $25 again. About 70 to 80% of all policies renew. Really super good agents will hold, a better retention, but it's always right around 80%, sometimes 85%. Sometimes even, we have agents that have hit 100% renewal. So, but it all comes out in the wash, okay? And then you get paid residual income for really no extra effort. Now, incentives get kicked out too. We do Visa gift cards. Some are $50, some are $100. We throw out a competition for the day. Whoever wins the competition gets a Visa gift card sent right to their doorstep. Take yourself out to eat, do something nice. And there's also cash incentives for production as well. So those will get kicked out from time to time to keep you motivated, give you a little kick in the butt, and get you going. And you get paid every other Friday. So all production until 12 o'clock Eastern Time Thursday. I'm sorry, that's supposed to be Pacific Time. All production till 12 o'clock Pacific Time gets paid out on, it has to be in by Thursday, and it gets paid out. So that's how the pay works every other week. And then close policy commissions on the first of the month, every month, and then renewal commissions on the first as well. So as policies close, you'll get a commission check on the first of the month. And you're paid as a 1099 contractor. You receive a 1099 at the end of the year. You're responsible for your own taxes to be taken out of that, and you'll get more write-offs, obviously. You can do home-based business, office expenses, phone costs, whatever else that you're using to work from your house and do this job, okay? And here's our expectations. We expect you to work your own schedule. I'm not telling you you have to work this schedule, that schedule. You're going to let me know if you decide to apply for this position when you're available to work. And then we can see when you're available to work. Don't put 24 hours a day. Give us a real schedule. This is when I can work. Okay, so that way we can fit you in to figure out where you fit in with everything else that's going on. And then stick to that schedule. All right, people that don't stick to their schedule, we can't keep you around. We need to know people are going to be on the phone, they're going to be working hard, and we'll reward you for your effort. Okay, and then just give us 24-hour notice if you're going to miss a shift. Not a big deal. You have something going on tomorrow, just let us know. Hey, I'm not going to be on tomorrow. Somebody else can use my station if they have to. Okay, and be complete with your quotes like we said before. We expect that you get all the information, submit them immediately, and then transfer the call in that order. Make sure that everything goes smoothly on the back end. And then here's the deal. Part-time is allowed, so it's a minimum of 20 hours. Okay, you can work 20 hours for the week, including hours on Saturday. So you just choose the 20 hours that work well for you. And then Saturdays are really recommended because that's not spelled right, but Saturdays are a day where people are around and they're about, and they can take 5 minutes to get a quote real quick. Okay, so Saturdays are awesome. It's not required, but really recommended. So if you're interested in this opportunity, now before we go, I want to show you something real quick that I put together for you, just to kind of give you an idea of how we keep track of everything. Okay. So here is one team of online phone people right here. This is one group of our guys, and basically this group, I just pull up their numbers for last week. I'm not expecting you to understand these numbers just by looking at them immediately, but I'm going to show you how we can tell and how we pay you based on the amount of time that you've invested in the system. So everything is tracked. Now, for instance, let's take this custom contractors insurance account. Okay, last week, this custom contractors account worked for 11 hours on calls and 9 hours waiting for calls. Okay, so the total of 20 hours worked, just almost, 20 hours and 40 minutes or whatever. Okay, so these are the numbers we look at. This guy worked 20 hours last week. He spent 36 hours in a not ready status. That does nothing for anyone. That's just time he was doing whatever. He was logged in. He wasn't ready. He was off, making a coffee or doing this or doing that. Okay, so what we look at are these two numbers. We add them together, and that's your hours for the week. Okay, so spend your time in a ready status or on a call, and you're good to go. Okay, there's no after call work. It's just somebody who hasn't dispositioned to call immediately, so they're letting that call sit, and they're not getting back into a ready status. That does nothing for anybody either. So there's hours wasted. This person wasted, not that they wasted, but they were logged into the system and not working for 54 hours last week. Okay, so if you took those 54 hours, that's a lot of time, a lot of phone calls. Okay, and then the other thing we look at is the amount of calls. So this person right here, this is custom contractor account. They took 2,700 phone calls last week, and this is how their phone calls broke down. Okay, so 30 applications or quotes. We call them applications or quotes. This person got 30 applications. That's more than 1 an hour. Okay, and we expect a minimum really of 1 an hour. Okay, so for every hour that you're working, you should be getting a quote. Okay, for every hour. Okay, over time. And then there's some interesteds here. 23 people that were interested. 50 renewal callbacks over that week. 2,000 left messages. Some out of business, but for the most part, we can see. So we know that basically this person was in a ready status for 9 hours and received 2,700 phone calls. Okay, that means that the system was popping a phone call to this person every 20-25 seconds. Okay, so that's how this system works. That's how we keep track of everything. And as long as you're in a ready status, you're going to keep getting phone calls, and you're going to be able to do your thing and make some money. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that real quick, just to give you an idea of how we're looking at things in the back end. This person right here worked 32 hours, over 32 hours they worked. Okay, so that's a good week, getting the hours in, getting the pay, and making it happen. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to show you guys. That's how the position works. What I'm going to do right now is take some phone calls. Some questions. This right here is the link that you can go to if you're interested in applying for the position. It's basically ccisaves.com/at-home-rep. Okay, so that's the link. You go there, you fill out the application, it comes through to us, and we get in contact with you within a day or so and let you know, where we're at and if we want to talk to you further about the position. Okay, so that is the link. I'll leave that up there for a minute. I'm going to go to the questions. I'm going to undock this questions. Let's see. All right, I can see responses, so let me just go through here. Okay. All right, so does anybody have questions? If you have questions, go ahead and pop them in there. I don't see any questions so far, but if you do, we'll spend a few minutes right now and we'll answer those questions. Someone asked me, do I have a particular type of computer? I have basically a Dell laptop. It's a Latitude. It runs Windows 7, and yeah, that's the kind I work. It doesn't matter what you have, really. You do need to be able to get onto Internet Explorer, I believe, in order to use the 5.9 system. Actually, that's not correct. 5.9 requires a certain version of Java, but we'll help you with that. But yeah, so any type of computer really will work out well. Changing schedule, basically just every week we want to know. Someone's asking how often are we able to change our schedule. Listen, this is an at-home position. It requires, discipline, and you guys have the ability to decide when you want to work. So, you let us know, ahead of time what's coming up for the week, and we'll have you scheduled in there. And then, we'll go week to week. But we are looking for people to keep their schedule fairly, fairly consistent so that we can plan week to week ahead of time without having to sit down and reevaluate everything every single week. If you Google Chrome Internet is fine. You'll have no issue with that. The browser isn't going to make a difference. People want to know if they can work less than a 4-hour shift. We really we don't like people to work less than a 4-hour shift because this is a numbers game. So what happens is people, and we see it all the time, somebody will be 2.5 hours into a shift, they haven't gotten any quotes, or they've gotten one quote. All of a sudden, the last hour, hour and a half, they get 3 or 4 quotes, and it makes the whole 4-hour session worth it. So, it really, over time, we've noticed that people that don't work a full 4 hours, have trouble getting the production. People that get up a lot and that can't sit there for the full 4 hours are going to really miss out on, those leads are going to get popped to somebody else. So every time someone gets up to get a coffee or, leads are getting popped to whoever's on there, and so, it's definitely a numbers game. Go through as many as you can to get the quotes, but that's what we're hiring you for, is to come on and work this system and get the information that we need. Get the gold out of it, get the quotes, talk to these contractors, and get them to let us see if we can save them some money. And the great part is we can do it right on the phone. So when you're offering this, it's get a quote now. You don't have to wait. I'm going to take your information and get you a quote right now. And so it makes it nice for you to be able to offer that to them. It's not just give us information, we'll get back to you later. Someone wanted to know if they can work like a 10 to 2 rather than a 9 to 1. Basically if you're Eastern time or your Pacific time, just think about it. Eastern time would be like an 8 to noon shift because you can start calling at 8 a.m. Whereas at 9 o'clock on the West Coast, it's 6 o'clock here, but the system knows to call where you're calling from. So can you work a 10 to 2 rather than 9 to 1? That's fine if that works better for you. We don't really have an issue with that, especially from someone who's consistent, who's there, and who's doing it. So yeah, we can work the schedule out like that for you. You don't get paid for training. The training is literally a half hour. It doesn't take long to train. So we're going to get you on the phone. We're going to get you on an online meeting like this. We're going to do a similar style meeting, and we're going to show you exactly what to do, explain to you the quote page a little bit more in detail, show you the predictive dialer, and you're off and running, and you're taking calls. And the script is very straightforward. It's very simple, very, very simple. It's a very simple position. If somebody can sit still for 4 hours at a whack, they can make money. If they have a hard time sitting still, probably not the job for you, because it does require that you work and you're on and you're ready and you're taking calls. Okay. Someone wanted to know how soon you can start. You can start. We actually have a start date coming up on Monday of not this Monday, but the following Monday. We're doing another orientation on Wednesday. We're going to be running that ad on Craigslist for another, till Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we're going to have another online orientation, and then we're going to start on Monday of the following week. So basically, we're going to do a training on Friday. Next Friday will be a half hour to a 45-minute training to give you the information that you need. You'll have the weekend to get ready, and then on Monday you'll start your shift and you'll get going. Okay, so it's about a week from now. Let's see, does anybody else have what's the latest shift we can work again? So as far as the latest shift, if you're on the West Coast, you can call up till 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so that means that you can work until midnight, because that midnight, if you're working at 11 o'clock at night, it's going to be calling the East Coast. And the East Coast, you can call until 9 o'clock at night. Okay, so you can call as early as 8 a.m. and to as late as 9 p.m. And so, as long as you're not working outside those hours, you're good for us. As long as you're productive during the hours that you're working, then it works for us. Okay. Let's see, any other questions? Let's see if we got any more in here. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have any more questions. Let me see. All right, so let's see. What's this? Oh, is the morning shift more productive? You know what? It's strange, because the morning shift is very productive. The afternoon shift, though, is very productive. So on a whole, you're going to find that the afternoon shift works really well. Because of the fact that you're getting people when they're getting out of work. But the morning shift, there's not a significant difference between morning and afternoon. It just comes down to who you're talking to, because in the morning time, sometimes you get gatekeepers, but you get the person that handles the insurance. And so you're able to get the information that you need while the person that owns the company is out working or whatever the case. So in the evenings, you get a lot of the guys who kind of have everything going to their cell phone, and they're taking calls at night because they're done working, and plus the other thing, our system internally calls everybody from their local number, which makes it better for you and for everyone else, because we have like 295 phone numbers in here for all the area codes. So basically, when you're calling a 414, it's the caller ID is coming in from the 414. When you're calling a 617, it's coming in from 617. So, you know, you get a lot more people picking up the phone instead of seeing like an 800 number. And then we do recommend that you leave a quick, brief message with your phone number, and we'll talk about that more in the training. So someone's asking, do the calls come through the computer? Yeah, they come right through the computer. Like literally while I'm on with you right now, I could go into here, and I don't know if it would mess something up, but I can go in here right here, and I can click ready, and then the system is going to go ahead and pop a call to me. It's right now it's got 4 lines that are dialing for me to get somebody on the phone, and we tweak that from time to time depending upon what the numbers look like on the back end. I don't know how well this is going to work while I'm on this GoToMeeting, but yeah, that phone call pops right to my computer. So if you have a headset on, it's going to pop to your headset. If you have a just using your external microphone, then it will pop to that. And so here you see right here, this popped in. This is Lanny Gergeff. So if I close this down, boom, and that's the call. Okay, so the caller disconnected. See that? Because they probably heard me talking like a fool, and they were saying, well, who's this guy? But so what happened here is this system connected me with Lanny from Grages Enterprises, Inc., okay? And that's the president. They do $1.5 million in sales, 19 employees, okay? So this information is sometimes on, sometimes it's not, so don't always go by that. Go by them. Ask them what they have going on when you fill the quote out. But that's the information. And then over here, we just basically will say what happened here, okay? So if it was a quote or an application, which is one and the same, then I would select that. Okay, if I left a message or if there wasn't any savings or if they weren't interested, I would choose one of these. Okay, so for this one, I hit left message. Now, as soon as I do that, it puts me back in a ready status. It's going to want to pop another call. So now I'm not ready. Now, when I was showing you those numbers, people sitting in this not ready status doesn't do anything for anyone. I mean, it's, you know, nothing's happening unless you're in a ready status. Okay, let's see if we have any more questions. Yeah, as far as advantages to shifts, you know, not necessarily. You know, you just need to find out, you know, I mean, all day long can produce apps because there's people, different situations, so there's really no advantage, you know, and you can try different shifts out. You may find that you do better at a particular time of the day for whatever reason. The max hours that you can work, as long as you're productive, you can work. If you want to work 70 hours a week, and you can be productive and generate quotes all during that 70 hours, then go ahead and work, because everything's based off quotes. So for instance, for every 10 quotes that you generate, you're going to get 2 sales. Okay, those 2 sales could happen tomorrow. They could happen next month. Okay, that's the reality because of the fact that you are drumming up this business, getting quotes, but we don't know when the renewal dates are going to be. Okay, so you know, for every 10 quotes that you generate, you'll get 2 closed deals, which is another $50 in commission. So if you work for 10 hours, you get 10 applications, you just made yourself $100, but also you're going to get 2 sales out of that. That's another $50, so you're making $15 an hour with your commission included, okay? And then that just continues to grow as you get better and as you generate more business. Let's see here. I wish this was bigger. I don't know why this is so little. Do you have any other questions here? Oh, you know what? I gotta grab this right here. That's why. Here we go. I'm over here trying to. Okay, this is much better. All right, work the required. Okay, so someone wants to know if they work the required hours but have extra time, can you log in and get more hours? Absolutely. You know, if you feel like you want to stay on longer, as long as no one's slated to use that account, which in most cases our productive reps have their own account. They're not sharing an account with anyone. And then there's no advantage of shifts. Like that. Let's see, the cost come through. All right, looking good, looking good. Any other questions? All right, so I'm going to leave you with this. Go to the application page, fill that information out. That page looks just like this if you haven't been there yet. It's just a straightforward page here with an application. Go ahead and enter this information in. Okay, go down, put the schedule you can work, submit it to us, attach a resume if you want to. Really focus on telling me and telling us why you'd be a great candidate for this position. That's important. I look at those first to see, why is this person going to be good? And what are their reasons for thinking that this is going to be a great opportunity for them? And then, let us know, because it is a great opportunity for the right person. And you know what? Not everybody makes it. Not everybody likes it. Not everybody ends up wanting to do it. But for those that really enjoy, being on the phone and talking to people and spending time working from the house rather than going into an office, it's a really good opportunity. So fill that out and get that sent over. And then also, if you know anyone that's looking for work from home, we're having another orientation Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock Pacific time, and that's going to be in preparation for our Friday training. So go out there and share this information with someone who's looking for work. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me. It's keith@ccisaves.com. So just send me an email. But more importantly, get the application filled out. That's really what we're going by. And go get that done, and we'll be in touch soon. So thanks for coming, guys. If you have any other questions, send me an email, and I appreciate you being on the call. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.